So this episode is about creating financial security after divorce. And, one of the reasons that this is going to be a little bit different episode for us than what we normally do. But, one of the reasons that I think this is important is almost every single person that is going through divorce is having financial stress and financial strain. The vast majority of us. I mean, I guess, if you have a multi-million-dollar estate, I mean, honestly, I find no matter what people's finances are,
they have anxiety.
They have anxiety. If you have a multi-million-dollar estate, your anxiety might not be where your next meal's coming from, but you still have a lot of times anxiety about your lifestyle changing or not being able to live where you want to live or where you're living now, and
relationship with the kids and how you're going to provide, and
all those types of things. Creating financial security after divorce is possible. This is one of the things that on mine and Thomas's first date that we really dug into about wanting our own business and, wanting a lot of the things that we have now that we've worked really hard to build over the last, several years since our divorce in 2006. But at the time that you're going through it, it can feel really hopeless. And when I walked out of
14 years later, here we are.
But when I walked out of mine, I really only had a mountain of debt. We didn't own a home. I was about 35 years old and I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And the most thing we had was his income.
You were very easy to get presents for.
The most thing we had was his income because he was the primary earner. And earned more than I did. But the problem was very quickly he started not to pay his support and eventually quit his job in order to completely avoid the burden of support. And, pursuing him has been difficult because he's willing to just, he's kind of off the radar. Like everything's under the table. He doesn't own any property. He has no accounts. He has no, so I can't.
He's the proverbial person that would rather sleep on a park bench than pay support.
Right. And so I can't really pursue him because of that. But also, even if you can, even if you could, there are other factors that go into that, like the relationships, your children's relationship with that parent and all those kinds of things, that have kind of influenced some of my decisions over the years. But really, where your power lies and where your financial security lies is in what you create. So the faster you can get to the point where either you don't need support, or the faster you can get to the point to where paying your support is not this, onerous obligation that leaves you without the ability to house yourself, the better off you're going to be, because you're not going to have the resentment and all those things towards the other person.
Can I say that the temptation in your situation, Tammy, is to feel like a victim.
Right.
Oh, he won't pay the support, so I'm going to take him to court, and I'm going to get some court orders, and then I'm going to have him held in contempt, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And basically what you're doing is you're saying, I need this person from whom I'm getting a divorce to make sure that I can make ends meet.
Right.
And that's not empowering.
Well, because relying on any other person, as we talked about a few episodes ago, in that heavy a way isn't sustainable, because that person could get sick, that person could lose their job, that person could die, anything could happen. And so really the only way you're going to be able to take care of you is if you do it. And, I never wanted to spend my energy trying to seek after him. I really just only ever wanted to be able to say, I don't need your money, shove it where the sun don't shine.
Right.
That's what I wanted to be able to do. I wanted to be able to say, if the money comes, fine. If it doesn't, my lifestyle isn't changing because it's not here. Be nice to have it. Always be nice to have it. But I'm not going to let it keep me up.
You wanted to take a long walk on a short pier money.
That's right.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yes, I think we all know the expression.
Yeah.
So we're really going to talk about what, really about building your own business or your own career or your own, side thing, and how that can pull you out a lot of times of this financial dilemma that you're in. And people tend to think that, they don't have anything to offer. And I'm here to tell you, everybody has something to offer.
So say you're in that boat where if you're the supported spouse, you've spent a lot of time raising kids, and your career is behind because you've made that investment, and now you're asking for support. I'm not telling you not to ask for the support. You should get the support.
Right.
But you should use the support to take charge of your own financial life.
Right, to build something that enables you not to need that support.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because a man is not a plan, and a woman is not a plan.
Neither one.
Yeah.
Another person's not a plan.
But woman doesn't rhyme with plan. So
man, plan, yeah. True.
You can plan to get a man, but a man is not a plan.
People's success in life generally has a whole lot more to do with their ability to persevere, their quote-unquote grit, than it does necessarily their intelligence. If you have somebody with higher grit but lower intelligence, they're going to go further than somebody with higher intelligence and lower grit.
What if you're stupid and you have no grit?
Well, then you're just done. You might as well give it up now.
Yeah.
But what she talks about is the ability to stick with it and see it through. And so if you'll persist in it, then, you can make things happen. It may not be exactly, as successful straight out the gate as you want it to, but for the vast majority of people, all these people that we see that are these big names or that are famous or actors or actresses or, athletes or self-development people or, whatever the category is, those people didn't just come up overnight. If you listen to those people's stories, it's like years and years and years of honing their craft. And so one of the things she talks about in the book is the whole idea of, following your passion. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. We've all heard people say that. And, I've had this kind of discussion with my kids a lot in their adult lives. And it's not so much that there's this one thing that you're going to just love and go, oh my gosh, I love what I do. If I can do this the rest of my life, I'll be just enormously happy. Now, some people get that. Some people have that. If you played basketball and you love it and it was just...
You make it to the NBA.
Well, or you become a basketball coach and you just eat, sleep, and breathe it all the time and you just love it and it's fantastic. That's great. But what she says is that...
You think it's too late for me to become a pro surfer?
I think so. But what she says is that there's still going to be aspects of that job you're not going to like. Even if you make it to the NBA, you may not like the 4 a.m. workouts. Or if you're the coach, you may not like the, watching the game tape to help your team prepare.
Yeah, but I love the bling.
Yeah, well, but that's what I'm saying. What she says is no matter what you do, there's going to be aspects of it that you don't like. So for everybody, there's aspects of their job that they like and there's aspects of their job that they don't like most of the time. And so what you have to do is try to find something that you have the experience and the knowledge in that also has characteristics that fit with with what you enjoy. The point is that, just get started. Figure out where you want to go and start going there. Start small. Don't be afraid to increase your rates as you start getting some traction. Leverage your background. Keep expanding your knowledge. Work during lunch or after work or weekends or whatever you have to do to be able to squeeze all this in. Put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. If anybody else attacks you for sharing your story, then... it's probably somebody that
they're haters.
They didn't even have the courage to put themselves out there.
Right.
Because anybody that's put themselves out there knows how hard it is.
It is.
I walk in sometimes and my sons are editing the videos or the podcast or something going on and I'm just like, hearing my own voice just
Yeah.
makes my skin crawl. I don't even want to listen to it in a certain way. But you have to have the courage to put yourself out there, because if you don't, you can't help people. If you aren't willing to put yourself out there, you can't help people with the knowledge that you have. So you have to get over that part of it, and then continuously modify and tweak your business model. And remember that it's never too late, even if you're turning 60 this year, sir.
Thank God.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to